Hello students, today let us see something about the press release. So what is press release? Often it is known with the many names like news release, media release, press statement. Sometimes it will also be in the format of video, that is known as the video release. Actually it is a written or a recorded communication directed at the members of the news media for the purpose of announcing something apparently newsworthy. So the prominent news will be provided in the form of press release to get the wider publicity. So let us check with the origin of this particular press release. So let us check with the origin of the press release. The first modern press release were created by Ivy Lee. He was an American publicity expert and founder of modern public relations. So this Lee's agency was working with the one Pennsylvania railway. So let us check with the origin of the press release. The first modern press releases were created by Ivy Lee. He was an American publicity expert and founder of modern public relations. So his agency was working with the Pennsylvania Railroad at the time of 1906 Atlantic City train wreck. At that time, Ivy Lee and his company collaborated to issue the first press release directly to the journalists before other versions of the story or suppositions could be spread among them and reported. So he used a press release in addition to inviting journalists and the photographers to the scene as a means of promoting open communication with the media. So technically anything deliberately sent to the reporter or media house is considered as a press release. Then let us check with the structure, how it will be in its nature. So some of the common structural elements of press releases are as follow. Now let us look at the structural elements of the press release. Some of the common and structural elements are as follows. First, it comes with the headline. So headline, it is used to grab the attention of the journalists and the brief summary of the news will be there in the headline of a press release. Next, it will be followed with the dateline. Of course, the dateline is very prominent as it contains the release date and usually the originating city of the press release. Next comes the introduction. The first paragraph in a press release that generally gives basic answers to the question of who, what, when, where and why. Of course, that is the structural element of a news story as well. So all these questions will be answered in the beginning portion of a press release. Next, it will be followed with the body of the press release, that is further explanations, statistics, background and other details relevant to the news will be there in the body of the press release. Next, contact information, very prominent one, because whatever information is provided that need to be authenticated by the public relation officer of that event or the event organizer. So the name, phone number, email and the mailing address or other contact information of the PR or the organizer will be published in the press release. So this is about the structure. Now let us see how it is distributed among the media persons. In the traditional distribution model, like the business and political campaigns or other entity releasing information to the media hires a publicity agency to write and distribute written information to the news agencies. So the news agencies usually collect the basic information of the event and they write one detailed press release so that the media persons will get every detail of that particular event. So these agencies disseminate the information as it is received or as investigated by a journalist. So basically it gives complete detail plus it will provide answer to every query which arises in the mind of a reader. So this is how the agencies will provide a press release. And next, an alternative press release like the self-published press release is also in use. In this approach, the press release either sent directly to local newspaper or to free and paid distribution services. So these news distribution services then provide the content as it is to the media outlets for publication, which is usually online. So these are some of the features of press release, and now we have to observe another thing, that sometimes a press release is distributed early and restricted from publishing till they get consent from the organizer. That is, news organizations are requested not to report the story until a specified time. For instance, news organizations usually receive the copy of presidential speeches several hours in advance, but it should not be published until the president comes with the speech to the public. So once he finishes with the speech, then these copies can be utilized to make news and to be published in the medias. So these are some of the features of press release. In next explanation, let us see what is press note. ಹಾಗೆ ಎಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೇಗೆ? ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಹೇಳಬೇಕಿತ್ತಾ? ಓಕೆ.
So this is about
ಸೊ ಓಕೆ, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.